Because I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, he can be trusted. And he is able. Now, is it easy? No. Until we get to a place where we stop making unrealistic comparisons, making God like man, because man disappoints us, so we think God will. When we get to a place where we don't make unrealistic expectations, where we overlook his will and we overlook our development. If we don't get to a place where we recognize that our faith is factual and I can trust him to be Lord. If I don't live a life where I go deeper into my faith and I realize that, God, I'm acknowledge you in all my paths and all my ways, that in this single life, in this married life, in this career path, and everything that I do, I'm going to acknowledge that you're real. I'm going to acknowledge that you are not just real, but that you are able, that you have the authority to get me through. When I realize that and I can couple that with appreciation, then I don't care how dark the storm is. I don't care if they surround me with 10,000 men. I don't care how many people fall on my left and on my right. It don't matter what comes in this life, I can trust you. And I get emotional every time because God has been faithful to me, ladies and gentlemen. So when you have that assurance that he's a God that's got you, man, when you understand that he's got you, and I didn't have that father in my life all my life. I didn't have all the support system, but when I find myself on my knees and when I say, God, how can you bring me to this Red Sea? How can you help me to bring these people to this Red Sea? But God says, stretch out your hands. And he'll part any sea that lies up before you, because he says, you know what? I bring you to a place where you are incapable of doing it yourself, because if you're capable of doing it yourself, you won't need God. But when you go to that Red Sea and you already got mad at Pharaoh, Pharaoh's behind you. You got some nagging folk behind you talking about what you're going to do. Your wife may be nagging, your husband may be asking questions, your mom and your father may be asking, what are you doing? But when you stand at that sea and at that moment your heart is unbalanced and you halt between two opinions, or you toss to and fro, you can say, God, help my unbelief. And when you say, God, I need you to help my unbelief, the waters of your life will part. And you'll be able to walk on dry land. And you will be able to maneuver through life, because God says, you know what, I'll give you a cloud by day and fire by night. I will lead and guide you into all truth. I will be the voice behind you that says, walk this way. But how can you hear him? How can you trust him if you don't know him?